Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my video log. Vlog. I not use. It's so funny that I've been doing this for some time, and I still find it weird to call it vlog. But yeah, welcome to my vlog. So I know that I haven't been very consistent in terms of generating content for my channel, and things have been. I would say it's been up and down mostly for the year of 2020. But the good news is I have a job right now, and even though I'm working night shifts, not mostly but permanently, I'll be working night shifts every month, every 5 days a week. But I am adjusting well now. I am getting used to staying awake till 8:30 in the morning. So in fact, when I look at the schedule, I actually have the longest shift among all my colleagues. So, but yeah, I'm glad that I have this job. I have a salary, and with everything that's going on in the world right now, honestly, I think this is a lot to be grateful for. So no complaint there. So yeah, I mean, the first few weeks on the job were tough, so it was a lot of adjustment. I think it was more about adjusting to the sleep cycle. My body is just, I mean, I do prefer being a night owl. I'm very comfortable with staying up till 4 a.m. Sometimes, I mean, around 4 a.m. is usually the limit. After that, I'm usually very exhausted and I'll need to sleep. But for this night shift, this job, it's the hardest part was getting used to being awake after 6:30 in the morning. Between 6:30 in the morning to the end of my shift, that is such a struggle. It even though it's just like 2.5 hours, it actually feels like eternity. so so yeah, I'm just glad that I'm finally slowly getting used to it. One of the things that I've done to sort of help me get through the night shift is that I do get snacks. I do get like Oreos. I actually bought chips more recently. And yeah, I do get a few bags of chips. Not the big ones, the medium-sized chips, so that I don't end up overeating. It's because somewhere around 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning. That's usually when I start to get kind of hungry. It's a little bit hard to stay awake I mean, it's a little. I don't know. It's just a little bit hard to get through the night with an empty stomach when you're feeling hungry. So I do get some snacks, but I always make sure that I don't overeat. I have to keep myself in check to just eat enough to feel that hunger, and just yeah, stop. So that is what I've been doing. And of course, with this whole lifestyle change and shifting in the timing that I'm sleeping, I am also adjusting sort of like my workout timing. I would love to hit the gym again, but with everything that's going on, I don't think it's a wise expense right now. It's just it's nice to have, but it's not really something that I need right now. I do miss hitting the gym. Just for the record, I do miss hitting the gym. But yeah, for now, I'm just gonna go with jogging and running. Um, I am sort of. I know that the fact is I'm overweight right now. Um, I mean, with COVID-19, it's not an excuse, but yeah, I do know that I need to do something about my weight. I need to do something about my fitness. So in the last couple of weeks, I finally decided that I was going to, put a stop to whatever was happening before that. After that point, it was a lot of stress eating, a lot of anxiety. So that was sort of like the controlling the narrative, so to speak. So I finally decided that now that I have a job, not things are not out of the woods yet. You know, financially speaking, I'm not out of the woods yet. Um, but things are definitely improving. They are getting better. So I just want to sort of take back control, you know, and not let the situation dictate my actions in terms of my fitness, my food intake, and so on. So I decided to just keep everything in check. Obviously, the snacking part again, you know, I was snacking a lot more than normal. Yeah, I was just snacking a lot more before I found the job, and maybe in the first few weeks on the job, because it was such an adjustment. I shared in my previous vlog that I'm just not used to working in customer service. But you know, even though right now, because okay, I'm working in the travel industry. I can't go into the details, unfortunately, but I am in the travel industry right now because of the company I'm working for. But because people are not traveling as much right now, the green lanes, the reciprocal green lanes, are not exactly up and running right now. So there's not a lot of traveling going on, even in other parts of the world. So in terms of the volume of calls that come in, I mean, it's nothing of a secret. It's just logic that there really isn't much. So while I'm on shift every night, um, I do get calls, but it's quite rare at this point in time. Now, as the reciprocal green lanes start to expand, I'm pretty sure more folks will have essential travel, work travel, and then with that, you know, maybe the call volume will increase. But I would doubt that it will increase by a lot, at least for the next 6 months. So for now, I would say that with every call that comes in, and if I get to receive a call, I appreciate the opportunity to practice what I've been trained. Um, but yeah, it's still quite a bit of getting used to. It will take some time before I feel more confident, you know, about what I can do. Um, Also, on the other hand, with regards to job and so on, I'm just gonna enjoy my cup of coffee. I always have a cup of coffee before I start my shift. I love the in terms of instant coffee because it's affordable. My favorite brand of instant coffee is the Old Town White Coffee. So I do love the different flavors, the classic, the hazelnut, but my favorite is actually the mocha. So when my salary comes at the end of the month, I will definitely be getting the mocha flavor, and I'll definitely stock up on that because that's my favorite. The hazelnut is aromatic in my opinion, but it doesn't have the punch as in terms of coffee. It's just I think it's more like if you want something for a punch, you can go for the classic, obviously. Hazelnut is just aromatic. It smells nice. It makes you feel good. Yeah. Mocha is just pure enjoyment because it's mocha. So that's something that I'm trying to do. I'll talk about that, when my pay comes. So that is on the job front. So what do I want to talk about today? I kind of forgot what I want to talk about. Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so on the front of my financial management, now that I have a job, and if you have watched some of my old vlogs from the past year in 2019, um, I did share in one of my previous vlogs, in fact in multiple vlogs. I talk about some of the financial lessons that I've learned over the years, past 2 years. And when COVID-19 came around with everything that's going on, I started to really appreciate the lessons that I've learned. the struggles, the pain. It seemed like um, I largely think that those lessons came about because of my own actions and decisions to follow my passion and the, the goal of wanting to lead a purpose driven life. I mean, I'm grateful to God that I did find my calling, as a content creator and in STEAM education. So that I'm very, very grateful. I don't regret my entire journey overall, but my actions and decision to follow that path did lead me down a path of struggles and pain and struggling with not enough, not having enough. It was in many ways a really, really painful journey. But in now when I look back, it was a necessary journey. Now with COVID-19 and the global recession and things are honestly, I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. It's still gonna get worse. It is getting worse, right? By the month, more and more companies are retrenching workers and staff, and it's just it is it's actually quite bleak right now. But I'm grateful that I have a job. I'm grateful that I've learned to be grateful, to be appreciative, to understand the importance and the differentiation between what is a need and what is a want. I have developed this mentality and lifestyle where I look at my financial expenses, the way I spend my money, the way I use my money. I look at it as two categories, two broad categories. I am either spending my money on something that um, could okay, so I'm either spending my money or I'm investing my money. So when I'm spending my money on something, in my mind, it might not be the same for everybody, but in my own perception, when I'm spending money, I'm spending money that I will never get back. There is no value, there's no return from it. It's just money out. That's it. There's no in. There's nothing. There's no return from it. So to me, that is what spending money feels like. Whereas in terms of investment, it's not really about investing in properties or business. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like in life in general. Um, Food, now spending on food, necessary meals. I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of money. So if I were to compare my perception, if I were to go to a casual restaurant right now to spend $30 on a meal, I would be spending that money. It doesn't help me any more than just to fill my stomach. So instead, I would just use $5 as a budget to spend on a meal, or $4. So that would be sort of like how I see things. Um, to put things to a better perspective, let me use another example. And I will also tie this to my plans as a content creator in the coming months. When I think about investment in myself, I think about like my calling, my purpose as a content creator. Whatever I do in that area, eventually it might not be a short term return. It might not be a short term return on investment. It could be something that will see a return in 6 months, a year, or maybe 2 years. It's something that's a little bit longer term, but it does bring back value to me. It does bring value back into my life. So it's not exactly like I'm spending money and the money is gone. So things like investing money to get this Razer Keo, this webcam that I'm doing my vlog right now. It is a good webcam. I have been in need of an additional webcam for some time, because I only had one previously, and my laptop doesn't have a webcam. So yeah, that is part of I would consider a necessity as a content creator. Is an investment. And then when it comes to the end of the month, so yes, I admit that I have been window shopping. I have been on Lazada. I've been just looking at things, trying to. So what I normally do is I would just look at some of the things that I felt I needed or I wanted. I'll just add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, right? So then eventually I'll realize that, oh, I have like, maybe example, I have 25 items on my list. Then within the last few weeks, between the final 2 weeks or the final week of the month, before my salary come, I will start to think about, like, okay, this particular item, do I really need it? Is it gonna help me, in terms of any returns, or am I just spending my money on it? And also I think about, like, if I were to pay for this and I get the item today, will I be using it right now, or can I wait, until say next month, when I have a slightly bigger budget, then I can get it, because it's not really a need right now. So eventually I will just eliminate items from my cart, down to items that I know I really need. And I'm glad that I have been able to do that, because it really, in terms of my finances, it is helping me to cut back on spending money the moment I get it. One of the biggest failures in my life, one of the biggest mistakes in my life is that when I get my salary, for many many years, whenever I get money into my bank account, I will just I'll describe it as instant gratification. That is all I care about. I wanted to feel good in the moment. I wanted to get something that will make me happy in the moment, but I never think about the consequences of that decision. I never think about how, what if I do not have money later on for food, for transport, and other expenses, you know. So that is one of the single biggest failures and mistakes in my life. I'm glad I've learned that lesson through a very very painful series of painful experiences. I've learned that lesson, and I never want to allow myself to repeat it again. And I'm sharing this message here because I feel that there are a lot of young people out there that are going through something similar, and there are also a lot of people in around the same age group, in the 40s and even 50s, that still struggle with issues like that in their lives. um, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I've learned a lesson today. I would rather experience the pain now experience the pain now than to experience it you know later on when I have a more heavy commitments, more serious commitments, like family, children, house, and so on, mortgage. So it's better that I know how to appreciate what I have now, and to know how to be wise with my finances now, than to learn that lesson later on. So yeah, so one of the things that I've already add to cart, and I made my reservations. I will be getting a microphone, the Tron Max, M Drill One Pro. I'll be getting that. I'll be getting the boom stand. Yeah, I can't remember the name. Let me just pull it up. Yeah, I'll be getting the P1 pop filter. I'll be getting the P2 suspension shock mount. Um, and I will be getting the Zoom S3 Premium Home Studio, a boom arm. Yeah, that's the name of it. So I have been wanting to get a microphone for a really long time. Ever since I discovered my calling as a content creator, I knew that having a good microphone is something that would be an essential, considered essential hardware as a content creator. I mean, if you are really serious about it, and for me, I am serious about it because I know there's a calling, and I want to invest in it, and be really good at it. It's not just enough to have the talent and the gift. I know that I have that. I feel very blessed that I have that gift and that talent to be a content creator. But it's also about um, you know you got to invest in it, and you need to keep practicing it. You need to keep honing that talent, that skill, in order to become really really good at it. That's what I believe in. So that is what I hope to achieve and do. So that is something that I'll be getting at the end of the month. I'm looking forward to it. September is my birthday month, so yeah, it's not exactly a birthday present for myself. I already planned a birthday present for myself. This is not it, but this will allow me to take another step towards fulfilling my calling and my purpose in life, and I am very very happy to be able to do that. So I'm looking forward to it. Um, so yeah, and also the next few months. In fact, 2 months ago, so over the next 4 months, 4 to 5 months, I have planned to sort of reinvest. Not reinvest. Yeah, I plan to invest into building a website again. I the last time round I had a website was 2017, 2018. That was the period. And then I stopped for a few years. So as a content creator, one of the most important essential things is to have your own platform, your own website, to showcase your work. And I really need that. To be a serious content creator, I know that I need that. I look forward to doing that. I mean, yes, there's YouTube, there is Facebook, and there is Instagram, but they are all very, I would consider them very, they are separate entities, separate platforms. And if I could bring all of my content together into one platform, one place for all of my viewers and audiences, I think it would be great. Then if they want to view more, they can always be redirected to my Instagram page, my Instagram feed. If they want to follow me on Facebook, there will be links from my website, my soon to be website. So over the next few months, I will be setting aside money, and definitely, I want to make sure that I have more than enough before I start investing and building up the website. Um, it's an area of skill again that I know that I've been blessed, and I'm honestly very good at it. I can be better for sure, but I am very good at it, and I want to invest in it and keep building on it. Go from strength to strength, right? So that is my plans for the next few months. So I am excited, to be a content creator, even though with COVID-19, I can only do it as a side hustle right now, but it's honestly better than nothing. So I'm excited about that, and I look forward to sharing more, over the next few months, as things become more concrete over time. So, oh yeah, so now moving on to Gunpla, right? So with COVID-19, I'm very grateful that I sort of rediscovered my childhood passion in building plastic models, scale modeling. There are so many different names for it, all over the world. But yeah, I do enjoy building plastic models. I used to call it plastic models because I guess it's just layman. Um, but yeah, I love Gunpla. Had been doing it for a long time. I stopped for a few years. Then with COVID-19 and the sort of circuit breaker lockdown scenario situation, most of us are stuck at home. We are trying not to go out and do not go crazy. We need a hobby, right? And building Gunpla building is like a hobby where I can take a break from my laptop, the laptop screen, from the tablet, from my electronic devices, and just focus on something non-digital. And I think it has been very therapeutic. It's been very helpful for me. Because the more time I spend in front of the screen, it sorts of adds to the anxiety and stress that I was previously experiencing. So now I have been spending more time working on Gunpla, which is great. Eventually, I am collaborating with brands in the electronics space. Um, it's related to actual electronics, where um, I can do tinkering and so on. So I look forward to that. I have a piece of hardware that is coming in. I don't know when. I'm still waiting for the word, but supposedly it's actually on the way. But it could take some time to get to me. So I am just looking forward to that, and then I will be adding that to my content creation genre. So as time goes, I will gradually expand my portfolio. Now, in the last few months, I did have plans to, like, I did have this idea and vision of what I want to achieve, but now as I look at my journey, I know that I need to manage my expectations. I need to lower my expectations. Things are definitely going slower, much slower than I had hoped. But I mean, with everything that's going on, I think it's reasonable to lower my expectations and not rush the process. I think being a content creator is so important to go with the flow and to not stifle your creativity just because you want to rush out content, to meet competition, or you simply just want to get it out fast. I don't think that's right. Personally, I know from my history that when I really take my time to work on the content, and I really, I mean, yeah, when I take my time, I do my due diligence, I usually end up with a really, really good output that can last for a really long time. So there's a lot of added value in that, as opposed to when I try to rush out content in a very short time for the sake of it. It usually doesn't live up to its potential and doesn't really add as much value. So that is a reminder that I have to not be hasty. Yeah. So when it comes to Gunpla, I did want to get a few master grade kits, at the end of the month when salary comes. But after taking a lot of time to think about it, I felt like I don't really need to pay for them right now. Yes, they are nice to have, but I think I have sufficient backlog right now to work on, and I should get through my backlog kits first. I am currently still working on the full armor unicorn Gundam. It's right here beside me. I am sanding and polishing down some of the units and the parts before I can paint out the parts, and then start doing panel line and I mean decals and panel line. So still a bit of ways to go before I finish this kit. I am painting the double S Gundam, which is the previous model that I was working on. It's a slow going process, so I don't intend to rush that as well. It's going to be a while before I'll finish that. I have the Sazabi Valka. I think you can see it in the, yeah, it's behind. You can see. So I have the Sazabi Valka that's untouched. I have my ashtray weight frame, which is also untouched. It's a perfect grade. I have the Shin Musha Master Grade. It's in the cabinet. You can't see it here, but it's right on top. And for my birthday, I am actually planning to get the perfect grade Strike Freedom. Oh, I am so looking forward to that. So excited. But yeah, I think as soon as I get that, once I'm done with the full armor Unicorn Gundam, I am going to work on the perfect grade ashtray red frame. I may change my mind later, but that's my current intention. Um, and also, I would say that perhaps by the end of the year or maybe the beginning of 2021, I would want to start. I'm not going to rush the process again. For me, creativity is about going the flow, and for me, inspiration plays a very big part when it comes to publishing and creating content. So for now, tentatively in January 2021, I would want to start a series of contents that are related to customized builds. I've seen a lot of that on social media. I mean, it's great, but I want to do something different and somewhat unique from others, and not just what everybody is used to seeing. So there are obviously things that I would need to get, over time as I get ready to release that series of content or to start working on it. But I will have to plan my finances first. I need to be very careful about what I need and what I don't need. But yeah, I do have a vision of my first customized build that yeah, that I want to work on. When will I start? I don't know. When will I finish? Clearly, I have no idea yet. I don't even know when I want to start yet. I mean, I have an idea, over the next 3 months. I do plan to get the, is it full weapons, master grade, the EW version, the let me, there's a master grade full weapons. I think it's if you're familiar with Gunpla, you would know. You can always go online and Google it. I intend to get the new Gundam as well. I plan to get the Seven Swords master grade. So my first custom build will be a mixture of those three. How will it look like? It's all in my mind right now, so it's kind of hard for me to describe it. But as time goes, I will start to sort of materialize what I really want to build, and then yeah, when we get there, I will share more. So that is my video log for today. I think I've gone on long enough, so I'll just leave it there. And then until the next time I have something to share, I'll be back to talk to you guys. Okay, take care. Bye.